Hey guys, so today I want to show you how to create a Trello board for prayer requests. I use this as my system to keep organized, to make sure I don't forget about people, and I want to follow up with them. So you would just hit create a new board here. You can add in the name. You can make it private. You can change the color and create board. I'm just going to show you this, and then I actually want to go back and show you my template real quick. You can download this template below. Sorry, that's my one. You can download this template, super duper easy. There you go. Okay. So with Trello, it's super easy because it's a workflow. It basically keeps you focused so that you don't forget. People all the time are like, hey, can you pray for me? Hey, can you pray for me? I see it on Facebook. I see it everywhere. And I just wanted to have a place where I could go, where I could remember to check in, to follow up with them. So basically, these are called cards. You would go here to add your list, and you could just type it in. So you could say like needs prayer, hit save, and then you can add the card to the needs prayer list, okay? And I'm gonna show you each of these. You can move them around, super easy. I've already created some. Again, you can download this exact board so you don't have to make your own. So here I could add a card for personal prayer needs. Say I was doing I had a medical issue. I mean, you'd be a little more personal than this. I could say I need that. Say I had a finances. Say I was up for a job. I could just type the things that I needed, or I could say things for, my kids. I have a tween. So like, Jesus take the wheel, right? Tween help. I also have a toddler. It could be like potty training. All those things you talk to God about anyway. You could then click on this edit icon to edit it, or you could just click and the card opens. Now what's cool here is you can add a detailed description. For this one, it's my personal prayer need, so I don't always feel the need to add the description, but say I come across a quote or some scripture or something happens and I want to just like get it out there, I could add it as a comment below. I could say things like, what's today's day? I could say like 6/4, felt really dizzy, called doctor, worried about illness, or whatever I wanted to do, okay? You could save it. You can also add in like a checklist. So if there were things you needed to do, you can change it and you could just say like, call doctor, ask for prayer at mom's group, whatever. Or you could even add like a due date in for the entire card, okay? Like I have a doctor's appointment on this on the 10th, I'll hit save. And then this way, you can see up here, a little checkbox with the 2 things I need to do comes up, my comment comes up, and when it's due. So that's just how I use the personal one. I don't always use the personal one as much, but I think it's important to like track what you are praying for. And sometimes you want that record to be like, oh, I prayed for this and look how it manifested. Look how it happened. God shows up on his own, right? God is never in a hurry, but he's always on time. And I think it's important to track that. So this is how I use it for others. I have a to pray for, in prayer, and a follow-up. So basically, I'll show you this. I had add a card and I added this example, which is Jennifer. So Jennifer asked for prayer. I can add a description. Jennifer's in my small group at church, struggling with parenting or whatever, okay? And then I would add comments in as they came up. When we were at church, at group on 6/6, Jennifer asked to pray for her 7-year-old or whatever, okay? You can add those comments in here. Now, I like to put a label on these because the way that I do my prayers is every single day. I pray before bed for others. I pray for a different type of, I pray for a different type of prayer for certain people, right? So like, if I'm praying for my church family on Mondays, on Tuesdays, maybe I pray for people at my kids' school. And on Wednesdays, maybe I pray for my friends. Or on Thursdays, maybe I pray for like my extended family. On, Fridays, I pray for the world and things like that. So I add in the label and you just go here to label. You can create your own color. And then what this helps me do is see, okay, it's Monday. I'm praying for everyone in my church family. So let me pull up the green cards. I can put it up on the computer. I can go to my knees and I can talk to God about this. Now, say I prayed for Jennifer. What I would do is I could then add it once I started praying for her to the in prayer. So I know I'm praying for her right now. I've already prayed for her once. I want to make sure I pray for her more. She's someone I pray with more. And then, this is my favorite one, the follow-up. So often people ask for prayer, and I think it's really meaningful to then say to them, like a week later, like, hey, I saw that you were praying, you know, you would ask for prayer. I do this in my Facebook group on Fridays. I asked for who I could pray for over the weekend so I could follow up with the women, and I could say, hey, I saw you had a job interview on Tuesday. I wanted to just see how it went. I've been praying for you. Or 2 weeks later, like, hey, how did that thing with your medical issue go? I've been praying for you. Knowing someone is praying for me, like, warms my heart, and it makes me feel really good. So, this is a follow-up card. Again, I just kind of was dragging it. But what's cool is you could do a couple things. So I said she has a job interview she's really hoping for on 6/10. So what I did was I created a due date. So on 6/10, this would give me a notification, and I use the app day to day. And then I put a comment, sent text in the morning of the interview with a scripture verse. So say I found a scripture verse that I thought would really fit. I could add it here in the comments so that morning I could just pull it up. I'm like, oh, I already found the verse. I've been looking for the verse. Here it is. Let me just send her a little like well wish. Here under scripture and favorite verses, you can add a card. I'm currently reading the book of Matthew, so I could just put like Matthew, or you could put things like faith and then go into it and then type in all of the scripture verses that you find on faith. If you find other quotes, obviously you could use other quotes. I recommend scripture, but you don't have to. You could put in other quotes, or if you see an image on Pinterest or something that you want to share, you can just drag and drop the attachment here, which is really cool. You can also create a checklist. So say, for example, I wanted to create this checklist that I used for everyone's. So this was my like prayer checklist. In the prayer checklist, it would be like, prayed for, we'll say initial prayer. I could say like initial prayer. So the first time I prayed for them, found scripture that I just thought really would help enhance their prayer, and then followed up. So as you can see, I now have this little checklist here. So say I did the initial prayer, I click on one, it tells me how far I am, and it says 1 of 3. Now say I wanted to add my checklist to Melissa. All I could do is go to checklist, and I could copy it. So I could say, oh, I want to copy this exact checklist because I don't want to type that again. And bam, she has the same checklist. So you don't have to do it each time. So I really like this system because it just helps me remember to follow up with people, honestly. It helps me remember to be a better steward of my faith and show up for others. And it keeps me super organized. So I pray. In the morning is more of my personal prayer time, and then at night is when before I go to bed, pull this list up and see what color I'm praying for that day. And I spend sometimes a minute, sometimes 10 minutes, sometimes longer, just in prayer for other people. I'm a newer believer. It's been less than 5 years since I've been saved, so prayer for me is still like not uncomfortable, but it's new. I don't really know what I'm doing all the time. And I just really like to have a system because honestly, though I talk to God all day, again, I said I have a tween and toddlers, so I'm always asking God for help and patience and, kindness and things. I like having a system to make it a habit for me. It doesn't make me a bad Christian because I don't always remember. It makes me a human who is flawed, who needs a system. And I recommend a system for you too. So let's back up. I really, really hope that helped. You can go below and you can get this exact board. All you have to do is click and you can copy it to your Trello. If you don't have Trello, it'll give you the free account. And if you have any questions, make sure you send me an email or leave a comment. But otherwise, I will talk to you later. And thanks so much for your time.